interview with George Harrison, plus a one-of-a-kind performance when we...
Each day just goes so fast. I turn around, it's fast. You don't get time to hang a sign on me.
I'm John Fugelsang, and we are remembering George Harrison. When George stopped by our studio with Ravi Shankar in 1997, nobody expected him to ever perform. He hadn't really toured the States since '76. But when he and Ravi's wife Sukanya got to our young woman carrying a guitar case, so everybody here was nudging everybody and saying, look, George brought somebody with a guitar. Now, as you'll see, once we were talking for like an hour or so, I very rudely and brazenly asked him if he would consider playing a song or two for us. George looked a little bit startled, but he was a very good sport, and he asked, what do we want to hear? So everybody was shouting out requests. My bosses at VH1 were in my earpiece saying, get him to play a Beatles song, get him to play a Beatles song. Well, it was even better than that. George played an Indian tune, Prabhuji, with Ravi and his wife, and then he thrilled us all with a brand new song that he had never played in public before. Here it is now, and it's a great one. This is If You Don't Know Where You're Going, Any Road Will Take You There. Do we want to clear the microphones away so we can speak, or do you want to hang on to the instruments and play some more? Would you like to play a little bit more?
Fine.
Can we induce you to play a little bit more? Perhaps
Sing or play?
either, or maybe if you'd like to play one of George's songs and and back up on guitar, we wouldn't get angry if that happened.
We don't really have a repertoire.
Oh well. Ravi said to do something solo, George.
Oh, I don't know.
Ravi said to do something, George.
Then I'll play a solo.
Yeah, Ravi said.
Okay?
What do you think? If you don't like it, we can burn it.
Yeah.
What do I know? Do I know anything?
What
do I know?
You want to do a Dylan song? You want to do one of yours? You want to do
Sing that song, If You Don't Know Where You're Going.
It may not be suitable on this call.
What I could do is a bit of a practice, really.
Give it a whirl. We'll roll the rehearsal. How about that? We'll tape the rehearsal.
I'm just rehearsing. You don't have a capo, do you, Mrs. Guitar Lady?
Thank you, Mrs. Guitar Lady. If it's a coincidence, that's your actual last name, too. I can't believe it.
I have to figure this out, let's see. Try it. Must be the only person who doesn't know his own songs. Well, we'll try a verse of this one. I've been traveling on a boat and a plane and a car and a bike and a bus and a train, traveling there, traveling here, everywhere, in every gear. But oh Lord, you pay the price with the spin of the wheel, with the roll of the dice. Ah yeah, you pay your fare, and if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. I've been traveling on the wing and a prayer, on the skin of my teeth, the breadth of her hair, traveling where the fall winds blow, with the sun on my face in the ice and the snow. But ooh, it's a game. Sometimes you're cool, sometimes you're lame. Oh yeah, it's somewhere, and if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. May not know where you came from, may not know who you are, may not even have wondered how you got so far. But I keep traveling around the bend. There was no beginning, there is no end. Wasn't born, it never dies. There are no edges, there is no sides. But oh, we just don't win. It's so far out, the way out is in. Bow to God and call him sir. But if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
What an amazing thrill it was to hear George play a new song in public for the very first time. And he actually topped that right away with another unusual choice. And he invited people to sing along on this one. Only I Did. But this is a Traveling Wilburys song from Volume 3 that had never been sung publicly before and had never been sung by George. Dylan sang this on the album. This is If You Belong to Me. So what do you think?
I don't know. I could go home and practice a bit and then come and
you know
do
what?
it
You can practice here and we'll roll on it. And if you don't like it, no one will see it. If you want to... Do you want to try winging another one, or?
Hey. There's a bit of busking going on here. What was that one?
One of yours?
Well, sort of. Half.
What's that?
You
not for you?
You won't sing around the room tonight in someone else's clothes. You're always coming out of things smelling like a rose. Hung your head and your heart is filled with so much misery. But you'd be happy as you could be if you belonged to me. Well, you say, let's go to the rodeo and see some cowboy fall. Sometimes it seems to me you have no sympathy at all. You hang your head and your heart is filled with so much misery. But you'll be happy as you could be if you belong to me. And it ain't easy to get to you, but there must be some kind of a way. If only to connect with you for one moment of each day. You say that you're all washed up, got nothing else to give. Seems like we never figured out how long you got to live. But you could feel like a baby again, sitting on your daddy's knee. And you'd be happy as you could be if you belonged to me.
One more amazing performance by George Harrison when we come back.
Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. It doesn't take long to be from 17 to being 57. 40 years just goes like that. Here comes the sun, it's alright, it's alright.
I'm John Fugelsang, remembering George Harrison. Now, one last note about that incredible spur-of-the-moment concert George put on for a few lucky VH1 staffers and friends back in '97. We were all, obviously knocked out by the performance, and so when the taping was done, I thanked George for bringing his guitar along, and that was when we found out that George hadn't actually brought a guitar. The young woman who walked in behind him with the guitar case, who we all assumed was with George, wound up just being a friend of one of the crew members. George didn't know her at all, but he still played for us. Anyway, it was a beautiful accident. We're very lucky that guitar girl walked in, and lucky I didn't know better than to ask George to play. He was just too nice to tell a nervous VJ no. George Harrison was a great musician, a great songwriter, and somebody whose name is going to live on forever. But he was also a warm, kind, beautiful man who wanted no part of hero worship. I was somebody who had always intensely worshipped him as a hero since my teenage years, and George taught me a very valuable lesson that day about that. And so that's how I'm always going to remember George Harrison. And here now is something for you to remember as well. Thank you for watching. Want to try one of the Beatles tunes? You want to try something? A Bob song, a Carl Perkins song? I'll take a Rick Astley song, George. I'll take a Spice Girls medley, George.
Yeah, I do mine if I could think of one. Really?
Sunrise doesn't last all morning, and a cloudburst doesn't last all day. Seems my love is up and has left you with no warning. But it's not always gonna be this way. All things must pass. All things must pass away. And a sunset doesn't last all evening, and a mind can blow those clouds away. And after all this, my love is up and must be leaving. But it's not always gonna be this way. All things must pass. All things must pass away. All together now. All things must pass. And none of life's strings can last. So I must be on my way. Oh, I'm facing another day, and a darkness only stays at nighttime. And in the morning it will fade away. The daylight is good at arriving at the right time. And it's not always gonna be this way. All things must pass. All things must pass away. All things must pass. All things must pass.